Hi, this is Marty Murphy of martymurphy.com, and I've decided I'm going to get a lot more chillaxed, as my daughter would say about doing these videos. I've always felt like, oh God, I got to make sure that, I've showered and done all this stuff. And I got back a bit ago from our morning hike with our dog, and I thought, no, this is a great time to do the video because I feel the inspiration for it. And I've made this decision recently that if I don't feel inspired to do something for my business, I'm not going to do it. And I don't want to go through this feeling like, oh God, I got to motivate myself or I've got to push myself to do it. I want to infuse my business with inspiration. So I feel pretty darn inspired right now. Thus, you're going to get this video newsletter. And I wanted to make the topic of this really about enjoying the journey. And the question to ask yourself is, are you racing through life? And I know my answer to that question is typically yes. It's like I'm running from one thing to the next. And it's like high octane all the way. Oh, wait, now I've got to do that. Oh, wait, now I'm over here. I'm so like disjointed, disconnected. And oh, now I got to do that thing. And it's very disheartening because it's also exhausting. And I thought, I want to be inspired. And I think with inspiration comes that fact, that piece of not racing through life and actually enjoying the journey, because the journey is our life. And it's like, wow, that's my life, is in the moment, enjoying the journey. And that's your life too, is what's in front of you to do in this moment, instead of racing through the next thing. And what inspired me about this is this past weekend, I went up to Boulder, Colorado with my daughter, and then we met my husband up there. And my daughter's been wanting to check out the college up there and see if it's a place she's interested in going to, because she's a senior this year in high school. Well, we went up there and we got our answer to it, which is no, we really don't want to be up there. And she really didn't care for the college. And, my husband had lived there before, but it's like, wow, really starting to appreciate the place we live. But then on the drive back, my husband left on Saturday, and then we left to come back Sunday. And we got up early and we were out of there by, say, 7:30. And normally my pattern of behavior is I am going to rush and drive it hard and get home, because Shark Week's coming on and I've got an agenda and I want to make sure that I get home so I can rush on to the next thing. And I got to say, it was pretty bizarre for me, because I woke up and I'm like, you know what? I'm in no hurry to get back. I've got the whole day to get there, and we're getting a really good morning start. And also going back through Denver, I-25, which is the main thoroughfare that takes you from Boulder down to New Mexico and down to Albuquerque, is the highway. So that was literally closed. So we went and took this back way to get down there. And we were going to stop in Castle Rock and go to the outlet mall, but we ended up getting there really early. So we're like, oh, who cares? And we just went on our way. And we stopped in Colorado Springs. And we sat, because the restaurant that I wanted to go to wasn't open yet. So we stopped and got a tea, and we found this outside table and just sat there. And my daughter was enjoying texting with friends and just looking around. And I was sitting at the table just watching all the bikers go by and watching all the commotion going on in downtown Colorado Springs Sunday morning. And it was really nice. I bet we spent 2 hours in Colorado Springs from the time we got there and sat and had tea to the time we got our meal, and then we left. And then we got back on the highway, and we had used to live in Taos, New Mexico, and my daughter's like, oh, that would have been fun to go home that way. And I'm like, we still can. The exit's coming up. So we took that detour and went through Walsenburg and bypassed a town called La Veta, Colorado, where her stepsister was raised. And we're like, hey, let's wave to where, Quincy used to be raised. And it was really fun. And then we went back through Taos and just meandered and took our time getting back. And what could normally be about a 6.5-hour trip was a 10-hour trip. And it was a journey. And what I noticed is by the time that I got back to Albuquerque, we were both ready to get out of the car, but I felt so much more relaxed. I wasn't in that, grinding and, okay, great, now I've got home and it's on to the next thing. This just pushing, driving, not enjoying the journey, racing through life. And I noticed I was like, wow, this was huge for me. I enjoyed the journey, and my daughter did too. We were laughing and going through memories and cracking up about different things that we did as when she was a little girl, and we were going back and forth from Albuquerque to Taos, and this clown that we made up with, and how we did that to enjoy the journey. And it was great. And we went and stopped in Taos and ate a late lunch at this restaurant that we used to love to go to, and she loved their bean burritos. And we just it was like, wow. So yeah, it took 10 hours to get back, but I had nowhere near that sense of grind, that inner grind and that inner racing that I would have had. I've been, okay, we're getting on the highway, we'll do the detour, but we're going to get home and we're going to get it done. And it was just amazing. And I thought, this is life. This is my life, is the journey. I might as well enjoy what's going on in the journey. So if you find in any area of your life that you are racing through it on to the next thing, or I'm going to, race through getting all this stuff off my to-do list, I had the realization my to-do list is a never-ending list. I am never going to get caught up with it. So I might as well enjoy what I can of it. And this is not to say that you can do this like that, and maybe you can, but to me, it's practicing, it's learning to flex this muscle, strengthen this muscle of enjoying the journey. So pick one thing today that you can do that is all about enjoying the journey that's your life. And if it's this simple, I'm going to take a minute today and I'm going to notice nature. I'm going to step outside. I'm going to notice a bird in a tree. I'm going to notice these flowers. I'm going to notice the blades of grass, whatever it is for you. And it doesn't have to be this, but make it short and doable so that it's a win out of the gate for you. I'm going to take 1 minute. I'm going to stop what I'm doing, and I'm either just going to center myself and focus on my breath. And you'll probably find, if your personality is anything like mine, which is type AAA, even that 1 minute can seem like such a challenge, but it's 1 minute. And I've noticed it's doable. And that I can do. And then I can build up to 2 minutes or 3 minutes or 10 minutes or 9 minutes, whatever it is. But make it a win. And then let's just do a tapping round to kind of set the tone for this. So, karate chop. Even though I know I have this tendency to race through this thing called my life, I don't think I ever really enjoy the journey. I choose to love and accept myself anyway. Even though I notice I have this tendency to race through my life. It's exhausting. I want to learn to enjoy the journey. I deeply and profoundly accept my feelings now. Even though I don't think I ever slow down enough to really enjoy my life, I accept myself anyway. And I acknowledge this about me now. And go to the eyebrow. There I am again. Racing. Rushing through my life. It's like I'm rushing to the end of the day. It's exhausting. I rush through this day. to get to the next day. I rush through a task to get to the next task. This ends up being my life. Rushing through. No wonder I'm exhausted. No wonder I don't feel much joy. I'm not infusing much joy into this journey that is my life. So I set the intention right here and now to do one thing today that can be a pleasant pause to reset my racing, rushing life. It can be 1 minute, but I'm resetting. And I'm learning to build up this muscle that has atrophied for me so long ago. I want to enjoy my life. And I can begin to again. So one thing today, one simple thing that's a win for me, to begin enjoying my life. This already feels better to me. I can make this a win already. I'm going to begin enjoying my life. And my life is the journey. And I'm so glad to be resetting and infuse more inspiration and joy into my journey, which is my life. Take a deep breath and go back and listen to that as many times as you need to, but just pick one thing today, one simple thing. Make it a win. Make it a win. If it's a minute, if it's 3 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever works for you, and just set that intention. I am taking this mental break to go enjoy my life. And the more you can do that, the more it's going to infuse in your life. But just ease into it so that you'll have lasting change. So thanks so much for being here with me today, and make this a day that you're going to begin to enjoy this journey that is your life. Take good care, and I'll see you on the next video.